All right, great. So, hi, I'm Tristan da Cunha, aka TDC. We're in Freedom Mills, which is an underground nightclub here on the outskirts of Leeds, which is my hometown. My life as a DJ is just me on the road playing records. You know, I'm not any different person. I'm exactly who you see. I'm, you know, joking and loving and you know, funny and serious about what I do and caring and, you know, all that sort of stuff. There's no difference between, you know, TDC that people see behind the decks or kind of, you know, like on the street, apart from I might be maybe a bit more subdued, or I might be a bit more, you know, I won't be sort of maybe throwing my fists in the air or, you know, whatever, walking into the bakery, do you know what I mean? Like, or maybe if they've got the kind of cakes that I want, I'll be like, yes. But yeah, I've got two more aliases outside of TDC. I've got Freakenstein, my latest alias that I've created, kind of astral assassin, intergalactic booty hunter, sort of really high velocity, high energy kind of electronic music inspired by, you know, Detroit and, you know, that kind of, you know, booty shaking electro. Then I also do Dungeon Meet with my good friend and super talented DJ and producer, Brother. And that's a label as well. So it's Dungeon Meet the duo, but also Dungeon Meet the label, and we present a lot of really amazing talent on the label, really up and coming. I like to come up with concepts, I like to come up with ideas, and then sometimes I come up with that before the music, and that will shape the music. So in that respect, playing different floors, different spaces, different places, that your sound is constantly evolving anyway, because you're talking to different crowds and different people and different cultures if you're traveling around the world. So you have to learn to evolve and to adapt it for that. But yeah, constantly evolving, always. And that's the great thing about music, is that, you know, you will never complete the level. It's like there's millions of levels to it, and no matter whether you're a maestro or a genius, you'll still never get to the big boss at the top. There isn't one. It just keeps, it's infinite.
What aspects of your life do you find hardest to manage?
I think as an artist, I suffer from the same things that a lot of other artists do, like ADHD or those kind of neurodivergent sort of things that, you know, people that are very creative usually have, whether they know it or not. And I don't really know, I've never been tested for ADHD or anything, but people that have ADHD have told me that I have it. And to be fair, it makes a bit of sense, having looked at the way I am and how I work and how much energy I have. For me, it's a superpower. You know, I use it like, I think, oh my God, that's why I can go for days, or I can stay up for so long, or I can, you know, really hyper focus on things. Like, you know, when I'm, you know, at a festival, I can go from, you know, having a good time to like ultimately being super focused on that thing, and then going and being, you know, really professional about it.
If someone asks you to describe your fans, what would you say about them?
They travel and they come to the gigs, and then they come up and say hello to me, and I just love that. I just love they're so affected by what I do. They feel compelled to come and tell me how what I've done has, you know, buzzed them up, changed their life, brought them out of some depression, or, you know, just something that just makes you think, wow, what I'm doing is obviously, you know, touching people in the right way, you know, and you can never be for everybody, you know. I'm never trying to be like, you know, the flavour of the month, or, you know, have hundreds of thousands of fans or whatever. I mean, that would be lovely, you know. I just think it's about having platforms and being able to shine, and maybe one day I will have. I have to show up for me, I have to show up for I have to keep a clean sheet. I have to make sure that I'm being paid to do a job. I'm going to go and give people a good time. I'm going to try and like create a good party atmosphere so everybody can leave there smiling, and that's my duty, and that's what's weighing on my shoulders. You know, when I come and accept a gig, I'm like representing myself, I'm representing the party and the brand and the promoter, the person that's put the faith in me to book me and pay me money to go. And then I'm representing the audience as well, and my duty is to them to give them a good time and to play them some music that they've never heard, some bits that they feel familiar with, and that's maybe it, you know. You know, ultimately, like, you know, legacy is something that's attached to my core beliefs, one of them being integrity. I think having integrity is really important, and I think when I'm thinking about I want to be a person with integrity, that's something that will ultimately be left behind in your legacy as well. And yeah, I want to create something that has a lasting effect, and something that you know, creates space and platforms and opportunities for other artists that are up and coming, and you know, having my legacy be something that's, you know, gonna open up doors and create you know, things to happen for other artists and people that, you know, are looking up to me and stuff like that, and obviously people that I looked up to as well, you know, respecting the architects and the elders as well. That's always really important. So, you know, yeah, it's there's a saying which I loved, and I think it was Andy Warhol who said it, and it's we're all going to die. It's not about living forever, it's about creating something that will. And I think that really resonated with me when I heard that. It was like, yeah, okay, cool. What am I going to leave behind? What am I going to contribute to this community, to this culture? And I think by, you know, creating record labels, creating a zine, building a community, building parties, you know, I'm meeting lots of different people. I'm you know, giving them a leg up by signing their music to the label. I'm shining a spotlight on them through the magazine, and just really like, you know, building, you know, a whole world around what I'm doing, you know, so it can, you know, include as many people as possible, and give, you know, help them to rise as well. You know, it's all about passing the baton on. You know, if I hadn't had that, you know, from certain people, then I wouldn't be sat here talking to you now. Since I've become, you know, more, you know, in demand elsewhere around the world, I've played in Leeds less and less. So this is going to be one of the first times I've played as TDC in Leeds for a while, and it's going to be the first time in a long time that I've played at Freedom Mills. So that's going to be a nice full circle moment, because obviously my, you know, good friend Josh owns it. Unfortunately, it's going to be probably the closing, one of the last events here, which is a bit sad. But it'll be great to have me to give it a good send-off. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing loads of local faces that I haven't seen in a while, just, you know, smiling and punching down. November 21st, Freedom Mills. See you there.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, hey.